It's one of the lessons I've learned most recently, which is what you do is less important than how much fun you're having while you do it. And a big factor, at least for me, on how much fun I'm having is who I'm doing my work with and the people that I'm engaging with. You know, your work colleagues are people that we spend sometimes more time with than our own families. And it's so important to make sure that those people are people that you enjoy spending time with. In my consulting practice, I've really surrounded myself with people I love spending time with, and never in a million years did I imagine I would be doing the things I'm doing. But I have been having so much fun, and I feel so much fulfillment in this process of really kind of pursuing happiness in my career, where previously it has always been doing the rat race, running in the wheel as fast as you can, climbing the ladder as fast as you can. My idea was to be a CEO as quickly as possible. And so it sounds cliche to really follow your dreams and follow your passions and do what makes you happy. You know, I don't know about you, but I've been kind of hearing this my whole life from, you know, teachers and professors and career counselors, but I'm just now realizing that, man, it's actually true. I think the other one is to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're always learning. And that has been big for me personally, and also big for me leading HR and IT at public organizations, is to really instill a culture of learning. You know, even if we're an expert in something, it doesn't mean that we stop learning. We don't want to sit back and be idle and essentially atrophy. You know, learning takes conscious effort, and it's really important to make sure that's embraced in your own personal story with whatever you're doing. There's always opportunities to grow. And that ties in really nicely to my third lesson, which I heard from an old mentor of mine, Dan Mayer, back at BioMarin. Dan is now retired. He was the head of product management, portfolio development, one of those two titles at BioMarin when I joined. And I think he's one of the, not necessarily a founder, but he was one of the first kind of 10 to 20 employees. And I used to run the intern program at BioMarin, and Dan always loved giving back to the community. And so he played a really active role in the intern program, even though he was, you know, a C-Suite executive at a multi-billion-dollar company. So I worked very closely with him. And he said very early on in my career, which I'm very grateful for, that you need to ride the wave. And so you can think of this wave in your career. As you step onto the wave, you're at the bottom and you start learning and building skills, and the wave starts to crest and you're at the peak of the wave. And at some point, that wave is going to crash and smooth out over the sand on the beach. And you want to make sure that by the time the wave you're on peaks, you step off to the next wave and ride that wave even higher. And I've been living my entire career based on that advice. You know, when I feel like I'm not learning something, I take a step laterally and ride the next wave to teach myself something new. And it's been a really fantastic process.
I really like that one. It's so much more sophisticated than similar advice I used to give for people who are satisfied in their career, kind of looking at it like a game of Donkey Kong. Remember the ladders?
Yes, yeah.
Jumping the ladders, but that one, I like riding the wave a lot better. That sounds a whole lot better to me. That was really great advice. Thank you so much for that, Mike.